Hi, Sean Walker here, Walker Tong Debos. I'm working on this mold, and we joined the two pieces together, and I sanded this groove down the keel of the hull. And I want to know if the groove profile is correct. I sanded it with a block sand, and you've seen in the previous video if you watched it. And now what I've done to check the profile, I'm making a part out of, well, what is the mold? But I'm making a part to just see if the profile is correct. Then I'll know whether I can spray gel coat on it and sand and polish it up so it's the mold for the bottom of the hull. And so what I did was, I don't know if you can see here, but along here there's a strip of saran wrap. Now the yellow thing is just signboard I put to cover the mold so I don't scratch and mess it up. There's a mold underneath there. And the theory is, if I put the saran wrap down, I'm not being too careful about it, maybe it's got a few wrinkles here and there, and then I put these sheets of fiberglass on top of here. When it cures, it'll be the profile of the mold, and I'll just pull the part out and I'll examine it and see if I sanded it correctly for the profile. So you have a nice even keel on the boat. I've already done a test piece on it, and I'm on the right track, so I'm going to lay out this fiberglass you see here, wet it down. Okay, I got the fiberglass laid out. It's matte fiberglass, and I'm going to wet it out the whole length of there in 2 layers. Okay, what I did was have my sons lay up 2 layers of matte fiberglass on here, the whole length of the keel. In a few minutes, I'm going to peel it off. I'm going to show you what we got, and it'll be a profile of the hull. This is actually the first part coming out of the mold. It's not really a part, but it's going to let me know if I sanded the correct profile in this groove. That's going to end up to be the keel of the boat. Okay, I got on the workbench here. This is the follow-up. You know, I realize it looks like a piece of crap, but that's not the point. The only thing that concerns me is the profile. And what I did was I got what I'm calling a profile card. It's a piece of sandpaper that I cut to match the average profile throughout the part, throughout the keel. And this is the bow, and at this point it's got more of an accentuated curve here. I'm not concerned about that. Right about here it flattens out a bit, and from here to the rest of the keel it maintains this profile. So what do we got? I don't see too much light through there. It's looking pretty good. Let's test it out with some different areas. It's looking good. I'm liking it. Can hardly see any daylight through there. Now this part here, all the way aft, it's not quite the same. You can see there's a big gap in there. And the reason that there's a big gap in there is planned because as the keel comes about 7 foot aft, it flattens out and it assumes the curve of the rest of the hull aft. So it's looking really good. I'm considering a test. I will do this test again, and anybody else who wants to try this test as they're doing something, I think it would work very good for just about anybody. So like I always say, don't forget to have fun. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Nobody's doing that lately.